Nothing was ever so wonderful as being in the Ozarks. My cousins were cared for after school by my aunts, older cousins, and grandmother. They grew up spending every day, not just weekends and summers, playing in the creek, picking corn, naming Grandpa's goats, chasing Grandma's pheasants when she wasn't looking. Their caregivers consisted of familiar places, familiar locations. Everyone in the family knew where each grandkid was at any given point in the day. My cousins had one another at school during the day. If you messed with one, you messed with all. They attended one another's basketball and volleyball games. They cheered wildly whenever a cousin made a basket or scored a point. They rooted for one another at the town's annual beauty pageant and gathered at Grandma and Grandpa's beforehand to dress that year's appointed female cousin in the best gown and makeup the Ozarks had to offer. They attended church together and sat next to one another, filling up half the pews in the sanctuary. If you didn't have a father figure in your life, there was Grandpa, a bevy of uncles, and older cousins there to fill the role. Everyone always had a partner at recess, company at dinner, a shoulder on which to cry, a hand to hold, a ride from school. They were separated from me by hours of asphalt and rolling hills. In the city, no one knew who I was or to whom I belonged. An endless string of teenage girls babysat me after school. I felt no particular attachment to any of them. One time, one of them forgot to make me lunch and instead made out with her boyfriend on my mom's bed. I turned up the television so Heathcliff would drown out their noises and then ran outside and down the steps to the sidewalk in front of our house, where I sat on the bottom step and embraced my knees. There was no one to whom I could run. I had no tribe. The neighbors on our left were a poor family whose daughter smoked pot and whose bedroom consisted of a mattress and rainbow curtains. Her parents fought at night, and I could hear her mother's every scream. The neighbors to our right were a family who seemed to find themselves in our hovelly hood due to hard times, and they kept to themselves. My mother did the best she could for me. I hid the transgressions of babysitters so that she wouldn't worry while she slaved away at one of the 3 jobs she worked so we could avoid taking government handouts. No one knew me at school. I didn't fit in with the preps, the burnouts, the jocks. I didn't even fit in with the weirdos, which made me the weirdest weirdo of all. I ate lunch alone and pretended that people at my school who remotely looked like me were family members. I sat on the bus alone, and no one noticed me. Literally. One day, I forgot to get off at my stop and was too small for the driver to see. My mom and the school found me a couple of hours later, crying in my seat in the dark bus shed. It's amazing how you can feel lonelier in a city than in the country. In the city, you're isolated by all of the nameless faces and the noise of their conversations. Everyone around you does what you do, so no one stands apart. During recess, I swung. It was a solo activity. I would swing higher and higher until I could look down the hill at the long drive that led up to my elementary school. I'd imagine my mom's green Oldsmobile coming up that windy drive to collect me early from school and take me away back down south to our family. Every Friday, that's what she did. She picked me up after school and we'd escape. We'd eat sandwiches, or if I was lucky, I'd eat a McDonald's Happy Meal in the car. There wasn't time to stop and eat anywhere. Mom wanted to be on the road and get to the country as badly as I did. I'd hand her fries while she drove. We'd chase the last stretch of sunbeams across the plains until the white lines on the highway were all I could see. I'd drift off to sleep and wouldn't wake up until I could hear the crunch of Grandma and Grandpa's gravel drive under the well-worn tires of our third-hand car. Waking up on Saturday morning at Grandma and Grandpa's was magical. Sometimes I would be so tired that I'd sleep through the rooster's crow, but Grandma's bacon and eggs would wake me up every time. I'd get out of bed and make my way down the hall to their sun-drenched living room. I'd hug Grandpa first because he was always in his recliner, watching wrestling and drinking coffee. "Are they treating you nice up there?" he'd always ask. I'd always answer yes, even if it wasn't true. I think he knew when it wasn't, but Grandpa never pried. He was selectively half-deaf from firing .50 caliber guns on the USS Alabama during World War II. He would pretend not to hear you when he didn't want to, but always amazed us with